Hey there, Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to increase your credit score super fast, like within 30 days fast. Because I know when you guys are making a large purchase, like a home or a car, you're going to need to use credit in order to do that. And if you have a higher credit score, then you will be paying a lower interest rate, which means you are going to be paying less overall for that expensive item that you're purchasing. So if you are going to be making a large purchase soon, or you just want to figure out how to raise your credit score as quickly as possible, stick around because I'm going to share with you how I was able to increase my credit score by 39 points within 30 days. And if you guys are ready to dive in, then click that like button and we will get started. All right, I'm going to be sharing with you my personal example of how I was able to increase my credit score within a short amount of time. I went from a 795 credit score to an 834 credit score, so an increase of 39 points within 30 days. So the first thing I want to talk about is what actually goes into your credit score, which different factors, and how much weight is put on each of those different factors. So there's 5 different factors that go into calculating your credit score. So the first thing that goes into calculating your credit score is new credit. So this is opening up a new credit card or an auto loan or a mortgage, different things like that. And it factors in how many hard inquiries are on your credit score. And the more that you have, then the more that it can lower your credit score. As you can see, it only affects your credit score by 10%. And then the next factor that goes into calculating your credit score is the types of credit used. And this is also 10% of your credit score. So what is your mix of credit cards, retail credit, student loans, mortgages, all different types of credit, and how are you managing those different types of credits? Because if you're managing different types of credit well, then your credit score can increase. And it shows you are more reliable because you can handle different types of credit at the same time. The next factor that is taken into account is your length of credit history. How long have you been using credit? When did you open your first credit card or get your first auto loan? The longer your length of credit history, the better your credit score will be. So you want to make sure and get started on your credit as soon as possible. And this is 15% of your credit score. And the next factor that I want to talk about is amounts owed. So how much do you owe on your debts? And how much of your available credit have you used? And this is 30% of your credit score. So this is a significant amount of your credit score. So you really want to make sure that you are not maxing out the credit card limits that you have, that you keep your credit utilization rate low. And then the last factor that goes into your credit score is payment history, and this is 35% of your credit score, so very significant. Have you paid your past credit accounts on time? You want to make sure that you are always paying your credit accounts on time because it's 35% of your credit score. So those are the 5 different factors that go into calculating your credit score. And as you can see, the payment history is the most significant factor in calculating your credit score. And the next one is your credit utilization, the amounts owed on your credit line. So the way I was actually able to increase my credit score by 39 points is by lowering that credit utilization rate, the amounts owed on my credit lines. I had already been paying all of my credit lines on time, so I couldn't increase my score by increasing my payment times because they were already all on time. But my credit utilization was fairly high. They recommend keeping your credit utilization rate 30% or lower, and I would say keep that as low as possible because this is how I was able to increase my credit score so quickly. I had a 28% revolving utilization rate or credit utilization rate, which was fairly high. And the reason I had that was because I had a credit card that was a 0% interest for, I think it was a year. And so I was taking advantage of that, putting my money elsewhere and just using the credit card and not having to pay interest on it. But before my 0% interest rate had ended, I wanted to pay off that credit card in full so I wouldn't be paying any interest on my credit card. And when I did that, it dropped to a 1% utilization rate, credit utilization rate. And that is what pushed my credit score up so high. So I went from a 795 credit score to an 834 credit score just within those 30 days. And that is how I was able to increase my credit score so much in such a short amount of time. And maybe you noticed on my images that I had 2 inquiries on my credit and it dropped to 1 inquiry the following month. But as we saw in the chart, that is only 10% of my credit score. So that didn't have a significant impact on my credit score, maybe a few points, if that. But what really helped was dropping that credit utilization rate really, really low. So if you are planning on buying something within the next 30 days or even further out, make sure and pay off as much of your credit as possible before you get your credit pulled so that you have that really high credit score and you can get a really low interest rate and pay as little as possible for that really expensive purchase that you're going to be making. In just a moment, I'm going to show you an example that shows how significant it is to have a really high credit score so that you can get a low interest rate. But before I do that, I want to clear up a myth that I have heard before. And I want you guys to tell me yes or no in the comments if you have heard of this myth before. Some people have said that you have to pay credit card interest in order to increase your credit score. So comment below and tell me yes or no if you've heard of that, because that is a complete myth. It is not true. I have never paid credit card interest and I have a really good credit score. So that is not a factor in computing your credit score. You do not have to pay credit card interest. You can pay off your credit card balance in full each month and still build up your credit. Leaving a balance on your credit cards will not help your credit scores. All it will do is cost you money in the form of interest, which you don't need to be paying. So I just wanted to clear up that myth for anyone that has heard that. You should honestly never be paying credit card interest. That is usually the highest interest rate, is the interest rate on your credit card, and you don't want to pay that, you guys. So if you can't afford something, then please don't purchase it on your credit card. Okay, that being said, let me share with you the example that shows how much of an impact it really makes to have a really good credit score. I want to share this example with you guys to show exactly how much you can save by having a better credit score. So this is a mortgage example that I want to show you. So if you were going to take out a mortgage, if you had a score that was 620 to 639, you would actually be paying an extra $66,754 because your interest rate would be higher. It would be 4.997%. And if you were to increase your credit score, you can see the difference in each credit score range. And you can see how much of an impact it has on this mortgage rate. So by having a credit score of 640 to 659, you would pay an extra $43,000. And that would mean you would get a 4.451 interest rate. And you can see it continues to go up. So the better your credit score, then the lower your interest rate and the less amount in interest that you are paying on your mortgage. So hopefully that example just shows you how important it is to make sure you have the highest credit score as possible before you get your credit pulled, because you can always get a better interest rate if your credit is higher. Hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, please hit the like button and share it with someone else who needs to hear this information. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can get this content out to more people. And don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos every week. And just as a side note, if you guys are interested in getting 2 free stocks, Webull is doing a promotion right now where if you open up a free brokerage account, you get 1 free stock. And if you deposit at least $100 into the account, you'll get a second free stock valued up to $1,400. And then you can do whatever you would like with your $100 and your 2 free stocks. So if you're interested in that, I will leave my referral link below, and you can click on that to open up your account and get your 2 free stocks. And if you guys want more of me, not just on YouTube, you can follow me on Instagram at Wealthy Tiffany, and I post there pretty much daily. So I look forward to seeing you guys over on Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.